I'm going to read a quote from Carl Sagan. Look again at that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of confident religious ideologies and economic doctrines, every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there on a mote of dust. It's Carl Sagan. He's one of my heroes in life, and I love that quote. I believe that came from when he was part of the Voyager 1 and I think Voyager 2 program, but I know Voyager 1 where they sent the record and the all that stuff into space to go past Pluto and beyond, and it's actually past our solar system itself. First man-made object to ever pass our solar system. Anyways, that's one of my favorite quotes. I love Carl Sagan. I could watch his series and I could read his books all day long. Amazing. But I wanted to expand on some of that stuff, and like we're talking about this mote of dust, this Earth that he's talking about. That's, you know, a million times smaller than the sun behind me right now. So, I mean, it's tiny. It's a little piece of dust. If you actually did the calculations and you saw like the sun as, say, a basketball, the Earth would be the size of probably. I mean, it wouldn't be a BB. It'd be a lot smaller than a BB. So it might be considered a piece of dust around a basketball. An actual piece of dust around a basketball would be the size comparison. So, I mean, we really are so tiny. Now take that one star that we have, multiply it by maybe approximately 200 billion stars in our one single galaxy that we can see. Multiply that galaxy by 100 billion different galaxies full of at least 100 to 200 billion stars. I mean, are we really alone, for one? And are human life or life in general the norm or the exception? And if it's the exception, is that a good thing? How do we know what it's like to be a rock? You know, does a rock have feelings? I don't know. Not human feelings, I know that. But what is it like? We all came from stardust, apparently, through physics, understanding the physics of supernovas and how the elements fused together and created everything that we're made of. Every atom that we have in our bodies that we use to survive is billions of years old. Everything's been recycled. The atoms in my body were something else before me, and there'll be something else after me. So is it really a problem to be part of something else, even if it's a star or part of another Earth or a rock, a piece of dust? Is that really a problem? I don't know. I don't think it is. I'm going to go with my positive thinking. Now, people might think this is really jacked up because it's, you know, it's saying, hey, there's no God. There's no God that we know of like that. But being part of the universe to me is a very special thing, and I think that's honorable. And that's all I can say. We will never know until we die. And if we die, we're dying as a human. And if we're no longer human, we won't have human thoughts. So if we have thoughts like a piece of dust or a rust have thoughts, which we could have no idea how to fathom that. We can't even interpret the language of other species on this earth, let alone something that's not an animate species like a rock. Something to think about anyways. But I wanted to share some of my thoughts on that just because I'm bored, basically. So talking about the universe again, I mean, what we can see is, you know, like I said, the 100 billion stars, 200 billion stars in our Milky Way, plus the hundreds of billions of galaxies full of hundreds of billions of stars. But that's only what we can see. You know, what's beyond the horizon, nobody knows. I mean, we just can't see because light is the dictator of speed, and as far as we know, our universe is only 14 billion light years away. So if we exploded from nothing, Lawrence Krauss talk there, if we exploded from nothing and we went separate ways, and 14 billion years later, I want to talk to somebody over here, and I'm over here, technically am I 28 billion light years away? And I can only see up to the middle though. and they can only see up the middle, so they can never see each other. We can never see each other. It's very interesting stuff. I love physics, and I don't really know why I'm doing this video. I just kind of wanted to check out my new green screen. So here it is. Here's my late night Friday night, having a couple beers talk with you. Have a good night.